What's up, Taurus? I'm Chris. Welcome to the house. Now, if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button on the bottom of the screen, as well as like, comment, and share, all that good stuff. In the description below, you'll find a link to my website where you can go ahead and book a private reading. Your donations also help keep this channel running. You'll also find a link to my Instagram, House of Light and Shadow. Please go ahead and give me a follow there. Posting lots of content there as well. Taurus, now I'm going to be honest with you guys. I started this is the second time I've started your reading, because the energy here just feels heavy, right? I think that, Taurus, this is a month that feels very strongly like you're just going to have to like put your head down and focus, right? There's a sense of perseverance, there's a sense of resilience, there's a sense of your feelings. Like if you're overwhelmed, if you're sad, if you're depressed, if you're like disappointed or let down, this feels like a month here in September where you're just gonna have to push that aside and really focus on your work. I think last month we talked about connecting to your passions, connecting to your roots, the things that motivate you and drive you. See? Central situation, Taurus, we have the Eight of Wands. So this is a month to hustle. This is a month to make moves. This is the month, like with the Wands, we look at fire and we look at creativity, but we also look at our careers. And here with the Eight of Wands moving like this, you guys have work to do this month. Now, Taurus, again, this is like, sometimes, you know, every time you pick up a card, you feel the energies a little differently. This one feels to me right now like sometimes like this is too fast movement, right? It's too much fire, it's too much quickness. It's just like breakneck speed, and you're gonna like run off the side of the cliff. But right now, Taurus, this feels like what you need to do, right? It feels like this month you just have to go. You just have to put the blinders on. You just have to focus. You just have to stop looking around, right? I hate to bring up Lizzo because she's everywhere right now, but this is a month, Taurus, where you prove that you are, in fact, 100% that bitch. Now, I say that joking, but I think it's true, right? We're connecting to a sense of worth. We're connected to a sense of value, right? So, Taurus, I think the past few months you might have had some disappointments. You might have felt like you lost momentum in certain ways, right? Life was going a certain way. Things were good. Things were looking up. You were getting like lots of hits here. You were getting lots of reception. You were getting things that are going. And now this month you just have to keep pushing. You have to get the momentum going. Right now, Taurus, in your ideals is the King of Pentacles. So this is what you guys want to be. You guys want to be mastering your careers. You want to have your money together. You want to have your life together. Taurus, the thing is though that this is going to take a lot of work. There's hustle that's necessary. And you guys know that you're most of the time you're okay with doing the work. You're okay with putting your nose to the grindstone and just going. But the thing is, this month your ruling planet Venus is in the sign of Virgo. And Venus don't like Virgo energy that much, right? It takes away a little bit of the romance. It takes a little bit away of the excitement. Venus in Virgo is very practical, very like detail oriented, not super romantic, not super passionate. And that's exactly the energy for you guys this month, is like we can't just be led by our passions right now. The King of Pentacles says we have to lead with practicality. We have to lead with creating, like there feels like there's things that need to be created, right? That there's a life that needs to be built from the foundation. It's funny because the first time I did this reading in your current situation, it was the Knight of Pentacles. So really trying to move forward, Taurus, and there's a sense here of like, why am I not there yet, right? Why am I not already there? Why am I not already where I should be with my career? Why am I not getting the recognition that I should be having right now in September? In our past, Taurus, you had the King of Wands. So some of you might have been dealing with some like oppressive fire sign energy, right? Someone who maybe made you feel a little dominant, made you feel a little off course. Whether it's an actual fire sign or not, it's just that sort of presence of somebody who just makes you not feel totally yourself, right? Maybe makes you feel like a little bit off. A little bit too much in your head, a little bit second guessing yourself, a little overthinking, which is not really your guys' vibe. If you weren't dealing with this kind of person, Taurus, then this is you being confident, right? Feeling, this is what I said in the beginning, right? That sense of just knowing what you were about, what you were doing. You were on course, things were working out. You were getting validation. You were like feeling at the top of your game. But the difference with the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles is that the King of Wands, that's fire energy, that's fleeting, that's the kind of stuff that can burn out. King of Pentacles energy is long term. King of Pentacles is long term because he has a foundation that's unshakable. Ironically enough, to get to that point, to get to that King of Pentacles point, Taurus, we're going to have to imbue life with a lot of passion right now. Again, this is like that fuck your excuse my language, but fuck your feelings right now. I'm not saying that's you personally, but this is the kind of attitude we need to have. Right? Looking past insecurities, looking past doubts. Like, you guys have this in you, right? Now we have the Queen of Wands. So definitely some of y'all were messing around with some fire energy, right? Again, if it's not a literal fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, we're talking about like very domineering presences. With the Queen of Wands, there's a bit of comfort. There's a bit of like warmth. And you guys might not be having that feeling right now. There might be a lack of warmth. There might be a lack of like emotional security. This is coming up in our past. And if you're okay in those areas, then I definitely think at least in some ways your like career maybe feels a little sidetracked, right? A little bit of a lack of focus. But what this says to me here though is that you guys were working on yourselves. You guys were having experiences, like let's not call it work, right? But you were having experiences where you felt like you were getting back to yourself. You were getting into your own skin, like we said last month, connecting to your roots, right? This could represent a period, Taurus, where, you know, maybe not too much is happening, but where you're feeling your zhuzh again. You're getting your mojo, right? You're having personal life experiences. I remember when I went to meetings with like producers at like studios for writing jobs, they would say the best thing you can do is have experiences. The best thing you can do is fill your life in a way that makes you more interesting. Right? That gives you stories to tell. And that's what I feel like has been happening, Taurus. You've been sort of like collecting those stories. You've been collecting these experiences with people. You've been collecting like these adventures. And now you have, I feel like, more to tell. You have more to show. You have more experience, right? More practical experience in your craft of whatever you do, but also now more lived life experience. This card came up too. Now we have the Hermit. So you see what I'm saying, guys? This was a time where you were connecting to yourself. This is where you were getting down to the bare bones of who you are, of what you're about. If you felt sidetracked this past few months, it's because it was connecting you back to what you are all about. This is that Virgo energy that just goes right down to the details. With the Hermit, we kind of shut out the outside world. We sort of do what makes us feel good. We do what makes us feel experienced and wise. What again feels like this is like an adventurer card here, right? The way he's venturing out into the wilderness to learn, to experience. A lot of court cards here too. Taurus, I think you might have been having some social times, that's for sure. And I don't necessarily feel here like money is bad. I don't necessarily feel like the career part is bad. Like I think you guys are probably making enough money to pay your bills, right? But what I feel here is like there's a lack of joy. There's a lack of pleasure. There's a lack of almost like some sort of creative spirit that needs to be re-tapped into. More court cards. Now here, Taurus, in the turning point, we have the Knight of Cups. So this is a couple things. One, this is the night that brings romance, that brings emotional security. So I think right now you guys are desiring this. And that's what I'm saying here. Like there's that heart stuff has been feeling like it's missing. And I think with the Knight of Cups showing up here like this, it's pointing us to the fact that this is what you're desiring now. A little more depth, right? romance, security, passion. Like there's such a sense here, Taurus, of really, like, I don't want to say this is like a love reading yet, but this feels like very much kind of like a love reading. Like what you guys are getting at right now is this just desire to feel safe, to feel secure, to feel loved. But also look at the way this guy's face is. You see how determined he is? You see how he's holding his hand out to the universe with that focus on his face? This is what I meant, guys, about resolve. The Knights are movement. And with this card here, you guys are moving towards greater passion, towards greater intimacy. So Taurus, I do think that the month of September is a time for you guys to embrace that part of yourself. To embrace the part of you that does want intimacy, the part of you that does feel like you want a deep connection. You've been hustling, you've been working, you've been trying to be creative, but again, like, I'm not saying things are bad in that area, it just feels like there's some heart missing, right? So even if you've been killing it at what you do at work, it just feels like there's not enough heart in it. There's not enough soul. Taurus, going forward into September, are you kidding me? 8 of Pentacles. Like, I feel like sometimes I could just talk and not even have to pull the cards. 8 of Pentacles, guys, so this is what I mean. This is one about putting your head down and getting to work. And then what happens, though, is that meaning is found. What happens is that heart is rediscovered. Right? There's like, even if you guys have been doing a lot of good work, there just feels like there's a little piece of passion, there's a little piece of fantasy, there's a little piece of you know, meaning. So Taurus, what are we doing this month to fill our lives with meaning again? Right? Venus is the ruler of abundance with emotions, but also abundance with material things. So I said to like Leo, if you guys are good in one area, sure as hell ain't in the other one. And I feel like that's the same thing with you guys, right? I think that's a fixed sign thing this month. We're in very mutable Earth season, right? And things are shaking up and things are rocking. Whether you like it or not, things are changing. Taurus, 2 of Wands, we're creating a vision, but this is also partnership to me, right? Whenever I see this card come up, it feels like there's collaboration. I feel like there is working with other people, there's connecting to others, like in a meaningful way. I think that this month, Taurus, there's a lot of possibility for collaboration with people who have similar visions. But also, Taurus, this is about making a choice about who you're going to be. This is about making a choice about what you want your life to look like. This energy here is very deliberate. It's very specific. It's very organized. Like there's almost this story that's being told of this uber focus of the King of Wands to now this little softness in life, this maybe delicate, taking it a little easier. And then here you are, where you're stripped down to nothing. And what are we led now into the future? We're led by heart. So guys, if you're looking for love, if you're a Taurus who's looking for love, you know, I really do still feel like this month is about organizing yourself. It's about being practical. If you're in a relationship, I think the best thing you can do for yourself and your partner right now is to get your chutzpah back. To get your spirit, to feel, I don't know how to put into words. There's just this sense of needing to like love life, love what you do in the way that you used to, in the way that we're dreaming. Maybe you've gotten too serious about what you do. Maybe it's just a little bit of the fun was lost. If you guys are winning at life, this month is the time to go even higher. But again, it's through work. It's through creating a vision. Taurus, we've talked about this many times about how we need to create a vision for the future, how you need to change, be changeable. Right? Where am I now? Where am I going now? Taurus, again, it just feels like at the end of the day, there's a desire here. Like, I almost feel kind of like soft for you guys because it feels like there's a desire for vulnerability. There's a desire for intimacy. There's a desire for your, like, your heart to be cared for. And that's why I think it's not saying that work is bad, but I think that there's a need right now to not look at that stuff. It's a need to not, you know, they say like when you put your mind on something, when you like go for it, like if you really want love and you really try to get love, then it just sort of reaffirms the fact that you don't have it and makes it harder for you to get. That's what I'm feeling. That's why I think it's good for you guys to not look really hard at love with other people right now. Because there's this like love of not even just self, right? But a love of what you do and how it shows up in the world. See? Rounding out this reading, guys, it's strength. So once again, the idea of collaboration. So if you're somebody who does something creative or is able to network this month, this is a really good month for that kind of thing. But Taurus, also, like, it's just persistence. Persistence. Just going, right? This month is September is going to teach you about how strong you are. And I think when we move into Libra season, right, at the end of September, when we move into Libra season, that's when we get more of this dreaminess back. We get more of this romance back. We get more of that like easy intimacy back. It's cuffing season, right? When people want to be in relationships, when the world gets darker and people just want to cuddle with their boo. But guys, right now, I think that like there's bigger things at stake right now. There's big life things that need your attention. I feel very much here like there's something at stake if you guys slack off this month. There's like a real loss. There's potentially loss of a dream. And I think that if you guys focus on the wrong things this month, then if you're someone who's desiring deeper love, if you're someone who's desiring deeper passion, then it's going to be elusive. Bottom of the deck, Taurus is the Queen of Cups in reverse. This is what I said from the beginning, that there might be some sadness, there might be some heaviness. I think especially with regards to your love lives right now. You could be winning at life right now this month, and still there's like this lingering. And guys, I think that this is why it's important for you to focus on work, because again, your ruling planet being in Virgo wants you to be practical and detail oriented and hustle through it and work through it. Thinking about what you can provide. There we go. Bingo. I've like been floundering around for it. It's about what you can provide for another person. Both materially, but also like emotionally. So Taurus, that's what this energy this month is about, right? Not pushing love aside, not acting like you don't want it, but it's in fact to think about how can I be the best partner I can be to somebody? What kind of place do I have to be in mentally, emotionally, spiritually, monetarily to truly be able to give of myself to somebody else? Guys, I did a love reading. You can check it out there. It's like a little love reading for each sign. But like, because if you're coming here for that, that's not what this month is about. I'm sorry to say. There's a powering through it. I'm just going to say it again. There's a powering. Taurus. So now we have the waxing gibbous moon. This is right before the moon turns full. What this means is that there's still like, it feels to me like there's still a void, right? And that nothing's going to help it but time. That you just need to allow yourself to just keep going. You need to not like I said before, focus on where you feel that void or where you feel that darkness. And you have to have faith that it's going to come. Libra season is the time of relationships. Virgo season is the time of getting your shit together. Look, it's hard for me too. I get it. But like, again, if you're in a relationship, it's really a good time to pay attention to what your partner needs, right? To be really there for somebody. And if you're not in a relationship, Taurus, this is a month to think really seriously about what you can offer. How you can put yourself in a better place where you feel fulfilled, where you feel satisfied, where you feel like things are going well, where you feel capable in your heart to be able to give, right? We have this Knight of Cups here, but what did we see at the bottom? The Queen in reverse. That's what I'm saying, guys. The emotional capability, I think, to really give a lot to another person is a struggle this month. For everybody, but particularly for you. Okay, so they just jumped out. We're gonna go with both of these. Holy shit. Excuse my French. Taurus. We have the Oracle, aka listen to me. Just kidding. But what this says is that there are bigger things at stake, right? The Oracle taps us into nature, taps us into that primordial forces. This is that passion I was talking. Look at the way that's so rumbling, and there's lightning and there's storm clouds. Like Taurus, right now I think life is a little stormy. If you might be overwhelmed, you might want to rest, you might just want to cuddle in bed with somebody you love, but look here. Look what else popped out. Now, don't take this in a bleak way, Taurus. Don't get discouraged. This is just saying, how are we going to fill life? How are we going to play out our almost preordained destiny, fate? What does Joseph Campbell say about fate and following your bliss? That the only thing we know in life, the only direction we're given, are our passions, are the things that give us bliss. And that's the direction we need to go in. This hermit was done with this reading, he just jumped on the floor. But Taurus, to really summarize here, I think that this month could be difficult, right? There could be some emotional turmoil. There could be some sort of feeling of you're not sure what's going on anymore. You're not sure a little bit which way is up. But this is asking you to get it together. This is asking you to pick yourself up right now. I know this is not the softest reading. I think the message is really straightforward from the start. But, I mean, by the end of this month, again, who's that bitch? Who's 100% that bitch? Could it be you? Could it be Taurus? Yeah. Alright, Taurus. I love you guys so much. Hustle. Everything's going to get better. That's the message here too, right? We need to have perspective. Everything is going to get better. When things get better, what kind of place do you want to be in? What kind of place do you want your career to be in? Where do you want to look at where you live? What do you want your money to look like, right? That's the focus of September. Love you guys so much. Have a great month. I'll talk to you soon.